This is an overall guide on how to be sub-6 on Skewb, and it covers everything, including what method you need to learn, what finger tricks you need to know, pretty much everything you need to know, and then it's just practice to get there. So we'll start off by learning a few finger tricks, which, if you don't know, can help a lot in your times. These are the polished sledge and a finger trick for hedge, and if you already know this, skip ahead to the timestamp up above. So to start off, a hedge is the opposite of a sledge, which goes something like this, but doing this is really slow, or something like this. And so we have a proper grip from which we turn on Skewb to achieve high TPS. Starting off, I'll show you how to do a hedge. Now a hedge starts off with a left move, which is easy to remember, and a sledge starts off with the right move. And now what you do is you have two thumbs in the back, your thumb in the on the bottom and two fingers in the back, your thumb in the front and two on the side, and you kind of hold it like this, but your orientation is like this. It's just that Skewb is held in a weird way. Now you start off by doing this, take this and push down, gather, and that, so it kind of looks like that. And so as you can see, it's a lot faster than doing this, and so right there, that's how you do it. And to reverse a hedge, which is also a sledge, is done in a similar grip, but rather than having your hands here, you have it here, and it kind of looks more like your normal orientation. Now what you do is you do that using these two fingers. You push, using this finger at the back you gather, and these two fingers you do that. So as you can see, this is how to do a polished sledge, and this is also a good finger trick to do a hedge. Now we'll move on to our next part of the tutorial, which is Sars intermediate. This is our first case, set of cases from Sars intermediate. So Sars intermediate is where you in one alg solve the whole top layer, and it is done with sledges and hedges that we just learned. So to start off, how to do this case where there's headlights, which these two when they're facing together is called, and the center is joined with this one. This can be on either side. What you do is, if the headlights are to your left when you face this, you do a hedge, while if they are towards your left, you do a sledge. This is the best case out of all of Sars intermediate, and for our first set is all of the headlight cases, which are around 3, and then we'll move on to the cases with two corners on top and the other two misoriented. Now our next case on Sars intermediate is this, when you have the headlights and the centers on top. Now what you do for this one is a double sledge, for which we'll also learn a special finger trick later. And so again, you have this, you go hold the headlights to your left and you do 2 sledges, and that solves it. Another important thing you should know is that this affects none of the other centers around, and so you can just recognize your case that you get after this by just looking at these before you do these 2 sledges, and this can help in recognition. Moving on, we have these 2 cases which are done similarly, and so both of these are if it's either connected like this, or if it's on the opposite side here. These are the worst cases from headlights, and this is done in the same manner as beginners. And so what you do here is you hold the headlights to your left and do a hedge, or hold the headlights to your right and do a sledge normally. And now you always rotate to where your yellow center was. So in this case you rotate here, but in this case you rotate here. So as soon as I do that, I rotate here, and so as soon as that happens, you rotate, you do another sledge, rotate to the back and do another sledge, basically a U-perm. So again, right here, you go solve the corners. You go here, you do a sledge, you go here, do a sledge, and that solves it. And you can do the rest of the cube. Now moving on, we have our cases with the two corners facing on top. And to start off for this one, we will have to divide our cube into few hemispheres and to fully understand what's happening here. So let's face the side where these two corners are pointing towards you. So not here, but here. And let's like draw an imaginary line from here to here, just an imaginary line. And so your side on the right is your right hemisphere, and your side on the left is your left hemisphere. And so to start off, why this I told you that was, if you ever have your there's just two cases on this. If you ever have your centers below, not on top, what you do is you can either start from either sides, to the right or the left, not at the back, not at the top, but the right or the left. So if I start here, and this is in the right hemisphere, which means I have to do a sledge, and that leaves me with the one sledge case. If I start in the left hemisphere, I'd have to do a hedge. The reason this is a better way to learn than ALX is because this helps in learning Sars Advanced, and this is a better way because it reduces the need to rotate. And moving on, we have our last case, which is when we have the same case but with the center on top. For this, there's also the same thing. You can do the same thing, but really it's not optimal, and you should also know a way to solve it with ALX. And so right here, you always start off with this facing you and this towards your right, and you do a hedge, rotate to the right, a sledge, rotate to the right, and another sledge. And so as you can see, I'll set it up again. And so we do right here, we have this facing us, we do a hedge, rotate to the right, a sledge, rotate to the right, a sledge. Now to do the last cases that we have here, it's the same as beginner's method. The only thing you should know is the Z perm and the H perm. I'm assuming you know the U perm. So a Z perm is when these two centers need to swap and the two on the back need to swap. You hold the two that need to swap in the front, you take the left one and send it on the top like that, and that brings the one from the back over. And now all you do is 3 sledges, and that leaves one move away to solving the cube. So again, it goes something like that. And if you want to know how I'm finger tricking this, I have a video on how to do infinite sledges on Skewb, which you can watch to learn how to do that. And so this can get really fast with time. And so as you can see, now the next case we have is an H perm. And so right here, this is an H perm. And H perm is when you have opposite centers on all sides. And what you do for that is you do a sledge, rotate to the back, a hedge, rotate to the back, sledge, sledge, hedge, sledge. So this is how you would solve all of these. And that's it for Sars Intermediate. Now we'll be learning some additional finger tricks that help you a lot. As said before, this is how to do a double sledge. So you start off in a similar grip from your left hand again, but here you have your thumb on the top and 2 fingers here. And what you do is you bring it down, go up, you have your left finger right here ready to do that. And then so again, you do like you gather this and you get in position for a polish sledge. And so again, I'll show you. You go on top, you go down here, and as you see with this move, I kind of set my hand on top of this, do that, and a sledge. And so like that. And that's pretty much it. Another tutorial I would recommend to learn, especially if you wanna get sub-6 easier, is the tutorial on how to do infinite sledges that I have linked in the description of this video. And so just make sure you check out that one because it's like really helpful. And that's it.